All right, YouTube, welcome back to the channel. So let's get right into this video. Let's talk about you being rebellious, right? And what I mean by rebellious is there's really no such thing as rebellion. Rebellion's only doing something else than you're supposed to do, right? It just looks like you're rebellious, but let's just use the word. And God made you this way on purpose. You are this way for a reason because you know that you have many different gifts. You're a person who's highly gifted. You think way differently than most people around you. You just think differently. You see things differently. You see a lot of truth that people don't see. You're not a person that likes to close your mouth, close your mouth and just accept what's going on, right? You're not that type of person. You're the type of person that's like, no, I'm fixing this. Like, I'm gonna fix this one. And this is how you are. You're like that for a reason because you're supposed to see what's wrong with the world and fix something about it. And if you're watching this video, you probably already know this about yourself. But your path is a lot harder than other people's paths. It's just different. It's a different path. It's not the same. You don't move through the same time frame as everyone else. You don't move the same way because you're not the same. You're not meant to be the same. This is why your life is always just weird. Like, it's just weird. And this is a life of someone who's purpose differently, who has another calling in their life. Your life is not going to move the exact same as anyone else. You're going to go through like kind of conflicts with people. Like, it's almost as if like you're at war with everyone else because you have completely different ideas and completely different like dreams for your life. You have a completely different thing, and there's conflicts and stuff. It could be with like family, it could be with friends and stuff, because family wants you to go a certain path and then you want to go that path, and you know that path is good for you, but then the path that you want to go to is going to take a little bit longer, but it's going to be more rewarding. If you go the other path, it's going to give you fruit probably a little bit faster, but then you're going to have to exchange some of your freedom. And this is also why you have kind of a really strong sense of freedom. Like, you have a really strong sense of freedom. You want to be truly free. Like, you want to basically be the king of your life, right? Or the queen of your life. And I don't mean that as in like you want to like it's not like an ego thing. It's you want to be the one that controls your life, right? Like, you're the master of your domain, and you already know that you're like that. And God didn't make you have these feelings for no reason. It's because the reason you have these so strong and there's so much resistance in your life is because that's His will in your life. And you already know that it is, because whenever you do go the path that you feel like you need to go in, it just feels right. Even if it's really hard, it just feels like it's the right thing to do. It's like you do it pretty good, or you do it really good, whatever it is. Like, some of you guys could be becoming like entrepreneurs, like owning your own business, a spiritual YouTubers or TikTokers or whatever, or someone that's out in the public, some type of public speaking or whatever. It could be whatever it is. You just do something that's not necessarily like ordinary. It's something harder, but it's bigger. And God doesn't make everybody do the same thing, because that wouldn't make any sense. There's got to be people for someone for this, someone for that. It's not all going to be the same thing. It's not going to have like just a bunch of robots, right? It's a bunch of robots doing the same thing. But this is why I say you're at war with your life pretty much, because that's what society wants for most people, right? They want them to go similar paths and just do that and do this thing and live a type of life that's normal, right? But for you, when you try to do that, it's just you can't. You really can't. It's like, first of all, you stand out a lot. You stand out way too much. You have different ideas. You see things differently. You have a different type of morality to it. You have a different type of feeling about these things. This is why you might speak to people about your feelings on things, and then people kind of see you as like you might be like crazy, or you might be like tripping, or they might have no faith in you and everything. And the path that you're supposed to walk, it's a path where you need a lot of faith. You need belief. You need belief, and there's a reason why that dream is always there. It's always coming out. It's always going to be there until you accomplish it, because you're created to accomplish it. And this is why your personality is so, it's just different, right? I know you guys resonate with this video. It's just, you just have a different personality. You just don't really fit in with like the normal things. You're not made to do that, right? You're not a person who fits in with what you're supposed to do. It's not for you. There's there's people that fit in for a reason because that's what they're created to do. They're created to have that type of life. It's for them. They like it and everything. You, on the other hand, if you're over here doing the same things as everyone else is doing, you're going to have a constant pull. You're going to have a constant pull to go the path that you're supposed to. It's always a pull. And this is why people think that like you might be tripping. It's like, is this person crazy? And everyone who's become successful or is becoming successful always gets looked at as kind of crazy, right? It's because you have a really strong belief in yourself. You know that you have a strong belief in yourself. It never dies out. This is why I also say that it's impossible for you to ever just like give up on your dreams. Like there's gonna be setbacks and adversity and problems and things like that to pull you back, but you just always bounce back and you always get back into it. It's like nothing could take you down because you're supposed to be like that, because the path that you have to take is going to require more strength. It's going to require more intelligence. And this is why, if you're watching this video too, you may be a person whose mind is extremely sharp. Like you might have a really, really smart mind it's always just absorbing knowledge. It's always seeing everything. You're just looking at every single thing about the world, just looking at everything, because you're a person who's made to change something about it or improve something about it that's not really in the ordinary. You're not just supposed to be, you're not created to necessarily just fit in somewhere and be like, you know, a product of like a big company or something. And nothing's wrong with that, but you know it doesn't fit for you. You know that you're not really made for it. You don't really have that type of personality. You don't have that type of look on your life. You have a whole different type of look. And everyone who's ever been successful or going to success or is entrepreneurial, like, you know, everyone who's like that or who's been like that has always said the same thing, that they just had an insane fire inside of them that took them to the place that they're supposed to be. There's always something that like couldn't get you to just conform and give up, right? It's just nothing could stop you. It's because that purpose that you have is from God, and that will is going to be done, right? It's going to be done no matter how it looks, no matter how your reality looks, no matter how your like finances look, how your health looks, no matter how, whatever the thing that you're doing, maybe you've already started what you're doing, and no matter how small it is, or maybe if it's pretty big, it's always like you just have a fire that always just keeps going. It always keeps going, and you might be like, how do all these things happen to me and all this adversity, but I still have the strength to go through the harder path. I just somehow keep not like giving up about it. I just won't stop. Because you're supposed to be like that, because it's a path where you need a different type of strength, right? It's a path of discomfort. You're not gonna be comfortable, because it's something that's your path is something that you know you're really good at, but there's always things like fear that come in and like doubt, and like you may get scared to like expose yourself and everything. Like you have a lot of stuff that try to stop you, right? There's a lot of thoughts behind your back that's like trying to pull you back, right? It's like a constant pulling. It's like your life tries to hit you one way, but you hit it back. It tries to hit you one way, then you hit it back. You're always constantly just like overcoming things, right? And throughout all of history, everyone that's been like that is purposed differently. They're just a different type of person, right? They're just different. Like you're chosen for it. Especially their early life has always been a lot more difficult. Like whatever their purpose is, it's always been a lot more difficult. It's always been like conflicts with people, fights with people, bullying and everything. You know, traumas and everything, like bad memories. Like your early life was likely pretty bad. Like you might have had terrible friends. You might have had just a lot of traumatic things happen to you, right? And this is a life of someone that's highly gifted, someone who's destined for bigger things. There's going to be the opposite side to it. And this is why this is where you got this type of strength from. Your type of strength to always overcome things. And you're an overcomer. That's how you are. You know that you're an overcomer, and you have to stick to it. You have to have faith in God, and you have to have faith in yourself with it, because having no faith, having no belief, it's what's gonna prevent you from going to that thing that you're supposed to do, because you're gonna want to just like give up on it. You're not gonna want to do it, even though you know that you're good at it and you're seeing fruits of it. there's always going to be doubts, there's always going to be fears and everything. It's a hard push, right? You have to keep pushing. I know it sounds like super cliche. They're always like, oh, just keep pushing and everything, but no, that's literally what you have to do. You just gotta power through everything. You gotta like, you literally just gotta slice your sword out through the whole whatever's going on, whatever's happening into your life. You have to persevere. You have to persevere. You can't just go back and say, I'm just gonna do this now. I'm gonna give up. I'm gonna do this, and this is how my life is gonna be. For you, it's like, nah, you can't do that. You have a burning fire inside of you, and for those of you that resonate in your spirit, you're gonna feel this one. But you know that you're like that. You know that you have some type of different type of fire inside of you that's just really, people may look at it as stubborn, right? And it's not stubborn. You're supposed to be stubborn because you're supposed to go through that path. No matter what your life looks like, no matter what like anxieties come up and like problems, you have to be stubborn because that's how you accomplish it. And this is how your life is going to be. It's gonna be a road that's like up and down, up and down, up and down until you reach the final destination. And whatever it is, you may have already started it, or you may have already had the idea or like the confirmations that you have a different road that you're supposed to go to, and you know it is because you feel a pull towards whatever it is. And but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, and don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed already. All right, God bless you guys, and